program that has been up and running in Piatt County for a couple of years now. On the WHOW Morning Show Tuesday, Piatt County Mental Health Center Executive Director Tony Kirkman announced to regional radio they have secured a grant that will allow them to start this program in DeWitt County this summer.
Some of your listeners, they might be aware of what the DeWitt Substance Abuse Coalition was, as it formed in 2016 as a response to a lot of unfortunate opioid fatal overdoses. And the community, rightfully so, got together and said that this can't stand, and we've got to figure out a way to educate, resource, and support individuals that are working through substance use issues. And that coalition, which I have been a part of, served very well for over 6 years, and really strive to collaborate and bring resources together to bring Narcan training, to bring awareness about the disease of addiction. And it finished a lot of its mission and transitioned in the summer of 2022. So it discontinued. And ever since we were aware that that coalition was preparing to transition, just because it didn't have a designated person that could run the services that were needed full time. We had a lot of great professionals in DeWitt County that had a heart, but the reality is they also had full-time jobs and other commitments. And so they could contribute, but just not at a full-time status. So we applied through the Department of Human Services for what's called a ROSC grant, a Recovery-Oriented System of Care. And as of last week, we were very pleased to find out that we were awarded the ROSC grant for DeWitt County starting July 1st.
According to Kirkman, the ROSC approach brings a different philosophy to the road to recovery. He explains it brings those with experience in the journey of recovery alongside an individual that is in the midst of recovery.
Yeah, I think that as we continue to evolve in our understanding of substance use disorder, our approaches have also adjusted. So on average, 14.5% of the U.S. adult population has a diagnosable substance use disorder. In addition to that, 14%, half of that number has what we call a co-occurring mental health issue. So the question is, what is the reason for the addiction? Is it genetic predisposition, effects of traumatic exposure? Is it self-medication for mental health issues, or a myriad of other issues? So in the past, our substance use treatment was in the support group method would be individuals struggling with addiction would be able to confidentially be able to meet in a support group where they could openly share and discuss their issues. And while I have a lot of great friends and a lot of respect for the 12-step method, it really did kind of create a subpopulation where there was stigma, there was shame, and they were kind of placed over to the side, where the ROSC model is completely different. ROSC, and again, I want to say 12-step works for people, fantastic, that's great. The ROSC model says we need to understand that substance use is an addiction, and we also need to listen to those in the recovery community about how to best support them and resource them. Because what has normally happened in the past is individuals with degrees and lots of letters behind their name try to sit in a room and figure out how to, quote, help those people without talking or asking those people how they needed to be helped. ROSC is totally different. It is person-centered directed. It is encouraging individuals with lived experience to share and to collaborate and really to drive the ship of what recovery support looks like. So we have monthly coalition meetings that are supposed to be composed of at least half of the group being people with lived experience, either direct experience of going through the recovery model or being family members of someone that had. So it's a brilliant way of looking at substance use, of trying to coordinate resources in an effective, impactful way. And again, it's individuals that are in social service or in the helps industry. We can open up the doors and hopefully reduce some of the barriers to treatment, at the same time with letting people with lived experience kind of tell us what's the best way to engage people in the recovery community.
For Kirkman, he needs the recovery community in DeWitt County to not only step up to the table, but to lead the charge in this effort.
Yeah, so what I need from the community is for you to share the recovery community to get engaged. Quite frankly, they've been, again, as I said before, some of the last to be asked to step up to the table. I don't need you to step up to the table. I need you to take the head of the table and educate us and inform us. So every month, the third Monday of every month at 1 p.m., we meet at the DeWitt Piatt Bi-County Health Department there in Clinton, Illinois for a 1-hour Ross Coalition meeting. I would love, it's an open invitation for anybody that's passionate about recovery and the recovery community to attend. I need lots of input of the most effective ways to address addiction and recovery. So what that looks like for the next couple of months is some capacity building, trying to get our name out, talking to social service agencies, trying to find areas where the community feels that we can be the best support. So one example would be we are a licensed drug overdose prevention program, which means that we can put on free Narcan training to anyone in the community as well as to distribute it. So if you have a civic group, if you are a social service agency, if you're a medical community member, youth group, whatever, and you would like somebody to come in to do a Narcan training, it's at no cost to you, and we can put Narcan in the hands of those that would like it and resource the community in the best way possible.
To get involved in the coalition, visit PiattMHC.org or contact Kirkman at the Piatt County Mental Health Center by calling 217-762-5371. He also directs those interested to perhaps contact the DeWitt Piatt Bi-County Health Department. News streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin insurance agents in Clinton. A look at local sports is next.
Your own home without the maintenance. If you're 55 or better, a beautiful Liberty Village villa could be yours. This is Erin, and I invite you to come take a tour of our move-in ready villa. Click the Liberty Village icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Simply the finest.
DeWittDailyNews.com is the area's leading local news source 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the latest local news, obituaries, police blotter, weather forecast, and more with no paywall. Head to DeWittDailyNews.com to get the local information you need to know.
Hi there. I'm here to tell you a little about this new program called Safe to Help Illinois.
Maybe you know somebody who's being bullied, or worse, thinking about hurting themselves or others. If you don't feel safe telling an adult about the things that are happening around you, check out Safe to Help.
Safe to Help is not about snitching or getting someone in trouble. It's about helping one another out.
You can call, you can text.
You can download the free mobile app, and it's all over social media.
So what do you say? Let's give it a try.
Brought to you by IEMA.
ServPro of Piatt DeWitt Counties, the leader in cleaning, restoration, and construction, is proud to again be the exclusive sponsor of the WHOW Clinton Maroon Player of the Game, announced at the end of every Maroon sports broadcast. Our WHOW announcing staff will select that night's WHOW ServPro of Piatt DeWitt County Clinton Maroon Player of the Game, whose play will be highlighted in each WHOW Maroon post-game broadcast, and that player receives a certificate. Find out the many services provided by ServPro of Piatt DeWitt Counties by clicking their icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Time now for a look at sports. I'm Seth Lawrence with this report. A 6-run 6th inning pushed Mount Pulaski over the top as they doubled up Heyworth 10-5 in non-conference high school boys baseball action in Heyworth Tuesday afternoon. Luke Martin homered twice, connecting for the game-winning grand slam in the 6th inning that broke a 6-all tie. He finished 3 for 3 with 5 RBIs. Landon Smith finished 2 for 4 with a pair of runs batted in. A.J. Bailey and Evan Cooper went 2 for 4 with a double apiece. Bailey drove in a run as well for the Hilltoppers. Bailey picked up the win on the mound, going 5 innings of 1-run relief. Despite walking 5, he struck out 7, allowed a hit, and the run was unearned. The Hilltoppers go to 14-0 overall. They're off Wednesday and return to action Thursday for a Tomahawk Conference showdown with Illini Bluffs in Mount Pulaski. Ellie Schleiper went the distance for Blue Ridge as the Lady Knights blanked Paxton Buckley Loda 11-0 in non-conference high school girls softball action Tuesday in Paxton. Schleiper struck out 10 in 7 shutout innings, allowing 3 hits and 0 walks. Cassie Zimmerman paced the Lady Knights, finishing 3 for 4 with a double, 3 RBIs, and a run scored. Carson Steiger doubled twice, finishing 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a run scored. Lily Anger was 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored, 2 walks, and 4 stolen bases. Alexis Wicki drove in a run and stole 2 bases, while Carmen Ellis had an RBI for the Lady Knights. Blue Ridge is 5-8 overall. They will take on Argenta Orienta in Lincoln Prairie Conference softball action Friday in Argenta. Westville brought home the game's winning run in the bottom of the 11th inning as the Lady Tigers downed Monticello 4-3 in a marathon non-conference high school girls softball contest at Westville Tuesday. The Lady Sages were shut out through 5 innings, but rallied with a 2-run 6th inning and tied the game in the top of the 7th to send the game to extras. Reese Patton was terrific in circle for Monticello. The junior went all 11 innings and did not record a strikeout or a walk. She allowed 4 runs, 3 were earned on 10 hits. Only 1 of the 3 runs scored for Monticello were credited as a run batted in. Lindsay Treebaum finished 1 for 5 with a solo home run. Katie Swartz finished 2 for 5. The Lady Sages struck out 22 times against Abby Sebeleski as she completed all 11 innings for the Lady Tigers. Just 1 of the 3 runs she surrendered was earned. Sebeleski finished 3 for 5 at the plate. The Lady Sages go to 6-8 on the season. They will host PBL Thursday in Illini Prairie Conference girls softball action. Illinois dropped a midweek contest to Eastern Illinois 1-0 in a 12-inning marathon Tuesday night at Illinois Field after the Panthers broke a scoreless deadlock with a 2-out single in the 12th. Brendan Comia started the bottom half with a single and moved into scoring position after a sac bunt by Brody Harding, but he would be left stranded on second base as the Panthers held on for the win. Freshman Julius Sanchez tossed 5 scoreless innings in his start, scattering 3 hits to go along with 2 strikeouts. Jack Crowder and Joe Glassy followed in relief. Each pitcher worked 3 scoreless innings. Crowder did not allow a hit and whiffed 4, while Glassy allowed a hit and tallied a strikeout. Illinois left 10 runners on base in the loss. Illinois will be back in action Friday when they begin a 3-game series against Minnesota to close out a long homestand. First pitch of the Friday opener is 6 o'clock. Augie Rasmussen reached base safely 5 times, but ISU fell 4-2 to Wisconsin-Milwaukee Tuesday at Duffy Bass Field. Rasmussen doubled twice, singled, and was hit by 2 pitches for the 10-21 Redbirds, who stranded 12 runners and had the tying run at the plate in the 9th inning with nobody out. Illinois struck first as freshman Daniel Pasella grounded home junior Shaden Kubo. The Redbirds nearly plated another run, but had the call that Rasmussen had crossed the plate before the runner was tagged out overturned upon review. Trailing 3-1, ISU pulled within a run in the 6th on a double by sophomore Nick Strong. Freshman Shea Robinson reached 3 times via 2 singles and a walk. Freshman Thomas Harper tallied a career-high 6 innings in the start against his hometown team. A Wauwatosa, Wisconsin native, Harper struck out 4 and allowed 3 runs. Rasmussen's on-base streak now moves to 11 games. Milwaukee is 17-16 overall. The Redbirds dropped to 10-21. Illinois State is scheduled to play at Northern Illinois this afternoon before a weekend series at Bradley. In games heard on WHOW, Josh Harrison homered among his 3 hits and drove in 4 runs, and 4 relievers combined for 4 perfect innings as the Philadelphia Phillies beat the White Sox 7-4 in Tuesday's first game of a doubleheader. Harrison is 5 for 10 after being mired in a 2 for 12 slump as the Phillies won their second straight. The Sox lost for the 5th time in their last 6. Nick Castellanos and Harrison had 3 hits apiece to pace the Phillies' 14-hit attack. Philadelphia had totaled 37 hits in its last 2 games. Phillies shortstop Bryson Stott singled to start the game, and his hitting streak extended to 17 games, surpassing the franchise record of 16 to start the season set by Pudd'nhead Jones in 1950. The Sox got 6 consecutive hits of Zach Wheeler to start the bottom of the 3rd and pulled within 1. Luis Robert Jr. hit a 2-run double. Andrew Vaughn followed with a 2-run single, but Wheeler stranded Vaughn at 3rd and left runners in scoring position in each of the next 2 innings, qualifying for the win. Chicago starter Lance Lynn allowed a season-high 10 hits and was pulled after striking out Trey Turner on his 107th pitch in the 6th inning. Jimmy Lambert got Lynn out of a jam by striking out Brendan Marsh with runners on 1st and 2nd to end the inning, but Harrison tagged him with his first homer in the 7th. Lucas Giolito and 3 relievers combined on a 1-hitter as the White Sox beat the Phillies 3-0 Tuesday night to split the doubleheader. Brandon Marsh had Phillies' only hit, an opposite field double to left on reliever Aaron Bummer's first pitch of the 8th inning. Giolito was pulled after throwing 102 pitches in 6 innings. He struck out 7, walked 1, and hit a batter. Kendall Graveman retired the side on 8 pitches in the 7th. Bummer got 2 outs in the 8th, and Ronaldo Lopez set down the last 4 batters, striking out 3 to earn his 3rd save. Jake Berger hit his 4th homer in 5 games, a 3-run shot to left in the 1st inning off left-hander Bailey Falter. That was a 118-mile-per-hour shot off the bat. That was more than enough for Giolito. Stott had a 17-game hitting streak snapped in the nightcap. Yoan Moncada might not be ready to be activated from the 10-day injured list when he is eligible Friday, according to manager Pedro Griffel. Joe Kelly through a bullpen session Monday. He is eligible to return next Monday. Tim Anderson performed light jogging, but is at least 2 weeks away from returning from a left knee strain. Phillies' Tyjon Walker opposes Mike Clevenger in today's series finale. Cody Bellinger hit an RBI single to break a scoreless tie and ignite a 4-run outburst in the 8th inning, leading the Cubs to a 4-0 victory over the Oakland A's on Tuesday night. Seiya Suzuki led off the inning with a walk. Patrick Wisdom followed with a double, sending Suzuki to 3rd. Bellinger then lined his first hit of the game past a diving Ryan Noda in right field, scoring Suzuki and putting the Cubs in front. Yan Gomes followed with an RBI ground out, and Nick Madrigal added an RBI single to give the Cubs a 3-run lead. Madrigal scored on a fielding error by right fielder Connor Keppel, and the Cubs clinched their 4th straight series win. Marcus Stroman continued a strong start to the season, going 6 scoreless innings and struck out 5, lowering his ERA to .75. Mark Leiter Jr. worked a scoreless 7th for his first win of the season. Oakland starter Ken Waldichuk pitched 5 scoreless innings, striking out 5. Reliever Trevor May managed to get just 1 out and was charged with 3 runs and the loss. The A's finished with just 2 hits. The A's will promote top pitching prospect Mason Miller from AAA Las Vegas to start today's series finale. The 24-year-old right-hander was dominant in his only AAA outing Friday, pitching 5 scoreless innings with 11 strikeouts and averaging 100 miles per hour on his fastball. Justin Steele gets the start this afternoon for the Cubs. Gabe Moreno hit his 2nd career home run and the first for the Diamondbacks, a 3-run blast that capped a 6-run 4th inning against the Cardinals' Jordan Montgomery as Arizona held on to beat St. Louis 8-7 Tuesday night. Moreno was the 6th consecutive Diamondback to reach base to open the 4th, and his 399-foot homer to center, the first allowed by Montgomery in 21 1/3 innings this season, made it 7-2 D-backs. Earlier in the inning, Jake McCarthy hit a grounder to first with 2 men on, and the score tied at 2, but the Cardinals botched a rundown, and everyone was safe. Nick Ahmed then doubled in 2 runs, hitting a curveball that bounced in front of the plate. Wilson Contreras homered twice for the Cardinals, including a 2-run shot off Andrew Chafin During the Cardinals' 3-run ninth, Miguel Castro came in and got the last 2 outs for his first save. Montgomery, who had been the Cardinals' most consistent starter, allowed 7 runs and 10 hits in 4 innings as his ERA jumped from 2.45 to 4.84. Kyle Nelson, the second of 7 Arizona pitchers, worked an inning and a third scoreless relief of starter Drew Jamison, who gave up 2 runs in 3 2/3 innings. Paul Goldschmidt homered in the first for the Cardinals, his 7th homer in 7